Hello, everybody, and welcome. One of these days, I'm going to change that intro because I know it still says what's 3D printing, but I haven't had a lot of free time lately. How is everybody doing today? I am Glenn from Fun King 3D, and with me, of course, is my brother from another mother, James.
It's me.
Boy, we went from a stream last week with 2 guests and a live guest down to it just being us again.
I got this fancy toaster thing though, so
that is a pretty fancy toaster. Quick rundown down the chat today because it's pretty short. Nobody likes us anymore. Clint was first, although I was first one to like the video, but Clint was still first, so he gets bragging rights. Alan Osborne's here. Glenn Hogue is here. Ollie is here. And that's actually everybody that's posted in the chat. There's only 8 people watching. Are we up against somebody again today? Bob Carnes is here.
I think what did 3D Maker Noob change his name to?
Makes and breaks.
Yeah, I think he's streaming on the Twitch.
Well, I know that he was streaming earlier. I didn't know if he was still going. And there is Mitch 3D and David Randolph.
Yeah,
he kind of likes us a bit. Well, you better like me a lot, Mr. Dave, because today I'm unboxing not 1, but 2 Jesse boxes because I'm a terrible procrastinator.
I heard that they're going to launch a premium filament called Jesse's Mom because it's got it going on.
They're going to launch it what?
A premium filament brand called Jesse's Mom. Because it's got it going on. Do you remember that song? Oh no, Stacy's mom. Never mind.
That's Stacy's mom.
That doesn't make sense.
Oh, it was still funny.
You can't laugh at yourself.
I got to get rid of all the evidence.
We're just gonna toss a link up in chat. This is why Glenn hasn't been posting any stuff on Fun King 3D.
Did you do it? Did you do it?
Not quite as fancy as I wanted to, but it gets the point across. Today, as always, we're drinking Gatorade, not a sponsor.
No, and actually owned by Pepsi.
Is Gatorade Pepsi? And then I guess Powerade is Coke?
Yeah, Powerade's Coke.
PepsiCo Canada ULC in Mississauga, Ontario.
Oh, that is brilliant, James. So in fairness, I did some 3D printing today. I didn't make a video about it, though.
Was it successful 3D printing, or is that why there's no video evidence?
Well, it's not successful yet. That's why I got another one coming. I
have been doing some 3D printing, as I had the evidence. Printed this toaster. I've been working on a case that's gonna use this USB hub. So I cut out the section that's just for the hub to see if it would fit, and it does. So that's nice because it's not an ordinary, like it's not a square shape or whatever. So lock and load.
I got this cool new little spy camera. I think they're called a GoPro, but it's like a legit GoPro, which is pretty exciting. And so I started to print cages because it was it's used. I got it off of eBay used, but it was only like $35. And they guaranteed no scratches on the lens or the LCD. But it didn't come with any accessories. So I printed this cage off of Thingiverse. And let me tell you what, when I download things off of Thingiverse and print them out, I expect them to fit perfectly. I expect them to be the greatest design ever for free. And this one's a little loose, so I printed a different one, and it's even worse. They're really nice designs, but they're just not tight enough. And I was only kidding. I don't really expect them to be perfect for free.
Robbie Mack says that they could make a special filament just for me and call it the Jesse James.
That would be pretty funny. David said, I'm going to start putting time bombs in those boxes. If they aren't opened in 30 days, they explode like die pack. Oh, look. It's that Shane guy. It's a Hero 6. No, it's a Hero 3. I'm not rich enough to afford a 6. I needed something. So this is actually kind of a funny story. I needed something to film, like when I'm working on a car or whatever. I need to be able to, be camera down into whatever I'm doing. So I got the head bracket for it. But in the in the meantime, I also got I got
sponsorship.
Yeah, I see. I'll get to it in a second.
Gotta keep the sponsors happy.
But so I bought the headgear, and then I also bought a suction cup mount. And Xander said to me, "Why? You could have just put the suction cup mount on your head." And I'm like, "Oh, and I wasted the money on the head one."
I bought back when there was a bunch of competing brands that were doing decent jobs. I bought an Ion action camera, and it came with the suction cup. And so I'm up at the cottage, and I wiped the front fender of my trike, because back in the day you used to be able to buy 3-wheelers to compete with 4-wheelers until they realized that people rolled them too easy.
Right. Yeah, they were dangerous.
Yeah, so I clean everything up. I suction cup it on it, and I'm reefing on it, right? And it's gonna pull the front fender piece off before it's gonna. Okay, we're good. We were 5 minutes into the ride. It fell, rolled forward. I rolled over top of it. For some good footage, and the thing was tall enough that it withstood getting run over. It's all metal body.
Shane said, "I got a spare suction cup. If you can wait 2 weeks, I'll get it to you." No, I got one. It'll be here tomorrow. But
did you order it from the Amazonians?
I did. It was relatively cheap, but when my niece and nephew were little, my dad was playing with them on the floor, and they had all these toys out. And one of the toys they had was a suction cup that came up to a stirrup with a set of spinners. It was 3 prongs with balls on the end, and you could spin them. So my dad thought it'd be cute to stick it on his forehead while he's laying there and let the kids play with it. I mean, they were 1, and he dozed off on the floor with this big suction cup on his head, and when he woke up, he had a 3.5-inch hickey right on his forehead.
And that would have stayed around for a week or so.
Oh yeah, it definitely stayed for a few days. Mitch said I have a GoPro 8 now. They have a 9. Yeah. It was really, again, $35, and it's really just to kind of see if it's going to work out. And if we need better, we'll get better. But I mean, we're only filming at 1080p right now anyway. So, until we start making the big bucks, then look out.
That was the plan for this channel, wasn't it?
That's the plan for every channel.
After 2.5 months of unbridled growth, yesterday I finished -1 subscriber. I was so bitter. YouTube was doing something. There's all sorts of stuff where it's people were getting 4 or 5 subscribers during the day, and then 4 of them would disappear by the end of the day.
Yeah.
So my theory is that they were doing the robot account clear out again, like they did a couple years ago, where everybody lost a couple dozen to at least one person we know lost 1,000.
I remember when that happened.
Yeah. So I'm wondering if this time they decide to do it, but they've written it so that basically as you gain subscribers, it counterbalances a bit, so that they don't get all the people being YouTube stole 3,000 subscribers from me. And it's you didn't have the 3,000 subscribers. You just had a number that said you did.
Yeah. Well, I told you a couple weeks ago I had 50 subscribers all within the same minute. And this machine dings every time that there's a subscriber or a donation made. If you'd like to hear that noise, go ahead and make a donation.
I didn't hear anything when Builder's Mark made his donation.
Yeah, it did it. I was busy talking.
Oh, okay.
But no, it was just it was bing, 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 bing. And I'm like, what is going on? And I come over here and they're all within the same minute. And they were all these real weird accounts. So I don't know if they ended up staying or not. I don't know. But
maybe somebody bought a bunch of bot subscriptions for your channel.
Could be. David said you owe YouTube a subscriber that you're sending a man to break your legs if you don't pay. But I owe a huge thanks most likely to everybody that's here in this chat room. And then, there's that Joel guy, which that was completely a shocker to me. I didn't know that was coming again. That was fun. But yeah, I don't know if you guys, can you see the monitor? Is it legible?
No.
Readable? Well, that's a bummer because it says 125. Maybe if I, oh, you can't zoom this one. That's really weird. Oh, well. But yeah, 125 subscribers as of now. So, Nadab said, just send us money. I thought it was supposed to be the other way. That's the only reason I started a YouTube channel.
It is so weird that you got this channel. It's got almost 5,000, but you're happier about the 125 on the other channel right now.
Well, okay, so the 5,000
here means nothing to you. Got it.
Yeah. No, that's it. You guys mean nothing to me. No, the bulk of those 5,000 came from Joel's giveaway. And not that some of them weren't real and meaningful, but a lot of them weren't. A lot of them were only there because of
free stuff.
Because of signing up to win something. So, and again, it's not that I don't appreciate what Joel did. It was a marvelous weekend that weekend.
I think we have a new sponsor.
Open the boxes and read the subscriptions.
That's like a mortgage payment in Canada, don't you know?
Oh, you betcha. All right, I'll open the boxes.
I was using YouTube donations to pay for my mortgage the other day.
I got to use my handy dandy Fun King knife that came from Tom Llama, which will also work on Fun King Garage because it doesn't say Fun King 3D on there. It just has my dude.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, the first merchandise to go on sale for Print and Play, these shirts. I don't actually expect anybody to go and buy one. I'm not going to be the kind of guy that's like, go buy my shirts. There was lots of people that have contacted me to ask how to get a Print and Play shirt. So,
do you have a cool domain to get Print and Play shirts?
So we're using a subsidiary because there's a company called Redbubble, and they have manufacturing and shipping and stuff all over the place. So it doesn't matter which side of the border you're on. When we started trying to set up some of the stuff for ourselves, it was like, okay, well, this one has shipping in Canada without custom fees, but then if it ships to America, it has customs, and we'd rather avoid all that. So I didn't even think to get a link ready because,
Yeah, I actually bought. I've owned Fun King shirts for a long time because that's what I used to do. But I also bought Fun King merch because you can't have enough domains.
I've got printplay.ca, and eventually it will have a redirect for. It'll have a redirect to allow people to go and pick up whatever. I set up a subdomain today. If you go to yt.funkinggarage.com, it takes you to the YouTube channel. I thought that was kind of cool. So I mentioned Tom Llama because of his knife, and then all of a sudden he shows up. Like, that's the way it goes.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there, Tom. I'm paying Open Builds a little love today. Whew. It's a lot to read, Dave. So spool number 1 is mixtape number 3 PLA.
Mixtape number 3. Every time I hear mixtape now, I automatically assume it's a reference to Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, look, I got printed solid stickers.
Only special people get those.
Ooh, and a one-time use 10% discount code for any E3D product currently in stock at Printed Solid. But the code is only valid until April 15th. I missed it. Do not share this code with anyone else. So don't anybody use this code. Even me, because I'm a procrastinator. All right, so we got green ice PLA and mixtape number 3. So I'm assuming, being that this one's green, that this one is the mixtape.
I guess I what I'm working on.
Should I read these out loud? There's the time bomb. Yep. I got it. It got me, Dave. That's what I get for being a procrastinator. We carry a lot of filament here at Printed Solid, not only Jesse PLA, but many other brands as well. A little before we started up our own line, we were seeing a lot of filament makers drop translucent colors from their line. David loves the look of translucent filaments, especially in vase mode or with interesting infill patterns. It creates a fantastic look and looks very shiny. So we saw a need to have some more of these kind of colors on the market. And we made several ice colors. This on one. This is one of David's attempts to get a good orange ice, which is one of the trickiest colors to get right, and trying to make it translucent is another challenge on top of that. Nothing is easy in the world of plastic and colors, but if David wanted to do something easy, he would have been a rocket scientist instead of making long string pieces of plastic and fancy colors. So that's cool. That is a very, very, very super bright orange too. I don't know. I mean, it never shows well. No, that camera doesn't do it justice. It almost looks pale on the camera, and I hate autofocus. Autofocus is garbage.
Well, it's nice when a company is that transparent with you.
And then the other one is green ice PLA. It's been a weird winter around here. It's cold, it's hot, no snow, some snow, but thankfully it's almost over and we can start complaining about the heat again. Well, here in Florida, it's been a weird winter. It's been hot, and there hasn't been any snow, and it rains a lot. So with that all being said, we are going full ice this month. Why green ice? Well, Greenland has ice, and we just assumed that meant their ice is green over there. We don't really know because we're still in lockdown. But maybe when this is all over, David will go to Greenland and find out exactly how green the ice is. Oh, you guys have too much fun at Printed Solid. And again, I mean, I'll show you guys this because I like to show stuff off. Oh, that's actually looking pretty close to what it is. So
I need more monitors.
Need more monitors?
Well, because I've got OBS and what, although I guess I don't need to see OBS all the time now. Once it's set up, I'll bring our. I've got 3 screens all together, but one of them is disconnected at the moment. So, I'm trying to run Fusion on one and then keep chat stuff on the other.
Tom Lama said, "Hey, I don't have that T-shirt, Glenn." No, this one was hand delivered to me at Orlando Maker Fair 2019. I have to think way back, when we were allowed to, be around people.
How did they hand it to you over the internet? I don't understand.
They didn't hand it to me over the internet.
But that's the only way you can see people.
Not back in 2019.
I made not the decision. The decision was already made, but I let the organizers of IRF know that I will not be able to attend in person this year. It's
I seen that poll, but it's I guess my brain wants to be hopeful that maybe, just maybe. But
so for our situation, Kay started a new medication last week, and she can't take any of the vaccines for the first 6 months after she starts the medication. 7 months.
Wow. Yeah. So
as it stands, it's just because I also want to go without her, and I don't want to have to quarantine when I get back from her, that type of stuff. So there'll be other years.
Yeah.
Hopefully
maybe not with me being there, though.
Hmm?
Maybe not with me being there.
No, you'll be there.
Oh, yeah, I'll be there.
Don't try to lie to me. You know
Yeah, no, Fun King 3D is not going away no matter what happens with Fun King Garage.
What if you're there? What if you're there repping Fun King Garage?
Well, the fun part about having all your stuff named Fun King is you can rep everything at once. So.
I figure out why I can't hide.
Sergio, HVAC A to Z is here. Yeah, so I'm printing, and it's done now. I'm printing this first cage again. So this cage, which I'll call Nicholas, the way that this one is made, it's open on the bottom, so that once you put it into the mount and you clamp it down, it would in theory grab, but it's still too loose. And then they made this one full of hex holes. And my apologies for not having the designers' names and stuff for these things. It just, like, I wasn't really planning on talking about these, but you know, a lot of the designs, they fill them full of these hexagon holes, you know, to save material. But honestly, there's almost no material here. It actually took longer to print this than it did this one, which is all solid. It's printed solid. And then... well,
because you also have to balance the fact that if you've got a design that has any infill in it, and then you're adding more perimeters and stuff in places that, you know, it may make a slower printer. It may actually even use additional material over top of not having those holes there.
Yeah, well, plus it's got to stop and start and stop and start and stop and start, as where with this, it just blows through. So, but again, when you put the camera into this one, it and I put the caliper on it, and it was off by like 2 millimeters. I don't know if you can see. You can't really tell, but I mean, there's a good wiggle there, and the camera just kind of falls out. And I wouldn't want to be hunched over a car and have it just like fall out and fall down into the engine, although that could be some very interesting video.
Especially if it's running and it gets bounced around for a bit.
Yeah, well, and again, it didn't come with the waterproof case, and I could have ordered one of those for it, but I don't really have a need for it to be in a waterproof case, so I figured the cage was good enough. So this is the first cage, again, except for I printed it at 98%. So fingers crossed. Maybe I should have gone 99. Ooh. Oh, yeah. Oh. Shh. That's a nice tight fit. That isn't going anywhere. So
what's everybody else in chat working on these days?
Harassing me.
Good. Glad to hear it.
Tom said Fun King's 3D Garage. No, but I've already got collaborations planned for between the two channels. Mark wants to know, did you get the FK1 up and running yet? The FK1 works fine. I say that every week. It works fine. There's nothing wrong with it. I just don't use it. Who needs to print stuff that big? Good gosh.
Certainly not you, since you're running a car channel now.
It was really a terrible idea to build such a big printer.
That's why I never did it. I just kept putting you on to see how it would turn out.
It's such a pain. It's such a pain. It takes up so much room. It's hard to move in and out of here. I'm actually thinking about when lumber prices come back to normal and a 2x4 isn't 3 times the price that it's supposed to be, and I get all the walls built in the garage, I'm thinking about moving the FK1 out there permanently and having it be my garage printer. So
I mean, not printing out there or not printing where it is, you know?
Right, but at least it won't be taking up room up here.
That's true. Kaylee and I have got it. So New fridge is here. I don't remember. Did I recap last week that new fridge, new air conditioner?
I don't think so.
Okay, so I had to plan for replacement fridge this week, air conditioner next week, and then on top of it all, Mika took sick, so we had a like $800 bill at the vet to find out that she's developed. So she's got severe arthritis, and she's also got osteoporosis. It's like her bones are weakening.
Right.
So she's locked in a cage for the next month. This was not a good week.
No, it doesn't sound like it.
But and then so the vet was listing off the things that she can and can't do, and it's like a long list of things that would usually define being a cat.
Right, like walking and jumping and
yeah. So like walking is fine, no jumping, no chasing, no climbing. There's more to the list, but
yeah, that's crazy.
I mean, it is what it is. She's in less pain now than she has been. Like, not that she's been like pain ridden or whatever, but like she's definitely been more cautious in the way she's been walking lately. But now that she's on medications to help manage that, she'll have a better quality of life, and then we'll go from there.
It's always tough, man.
Pets are difficult. 100%. They become family, but they're like not there as long.
Right. I was going to make some rude comment about how I'd rather the pets last longer than some of my family, but that's not really true. Tom Lama said, I just got 2 sheets of MDF for the CNC, $80 a sheet. That is so ridiculous for garbage wood.
Yep.
Mark said, just got over my illness from ladder fall and back to printing special projects for fellow maker. Yeah, Mark's not allowed to be on a ladder anymore.
There it is. It's like I had an SVG I was going to use for a logo, and it kept inserting in the wrong spot.
Yeah, so I wonder if I would have gone 99% or 98.5%. Because this thing is in here pretty tight, but I don't really see a need to ever have to take it out of there anyway. I might print one more at 99% and see. See how it works. I mean, it's so expensive to print stuff.
It's true. It costs you time, man.
Look at that. I printed 3 things today, people. And now 2 of them are going in the bin.
That's what happens when you're out of practice. You're not as good as it used to be.
That's what happens when people give away sloppy designs. I expect much tighter tolerances for my free stuff that I download off the internet.
And rightfully so.
Huge shout out. You know what? I'm going to pull up this design because I do want to give this particular person a proper shout out. And let me rant for just a moment and say Thingiverse ticks me off because it keeps logging me out, and I hate that. Just leave my account logged in. I don't know if they think that's a security feature. I mean, I'd sure hate for somebody to get onto my computer and get into my Thingiverse account.
Oh, for sure. For sure there, bud.
Start liking a bunch of stuff.
Liking all the NSFW models on there, Nobody wants that. Just want to be able to log into the app and have a double-double.
That's right. Going on to my Thingiverse the other day, and everything was missing. This is done by M. Mara. So shout outs to MM. That's what the avatar is. This is MM. But and just like that, James was gone. And I was alone. Still says I'm broadcasting though, so maybe he'll be back soon. But yeah, shout out to MM for designing the GoPro Frame Hero 3/4 And I guess it will also accept it if you have a backpack in it. This is my first GoPro. I've only owned a knockoff, which was courtesy of Uncle Ron. And there's James back with us.
It was a little uncalled for, Glenn, but I'll forgive you.
I don't know where you went.
Oh, okay. No, that was me. I clicked the X for the browser instead of the X for the tab.
Oh.
And then I'm like, why is it hesitating? I'm like, oh, it's shutting everything down.
Freddie Alzef is here. Greetings from Norway. Yeah, I went on a shopping spree to Sam's Club. Do you guys have Sam's Club there in the Canada?
No, but I know of it.
Yeah, it's owned by Walmart.
Well,
and you pay a yearly membership for the
oh, it's like Costco here.
Yeah, we have Costco's as well. Yeah, so you pay for the privilege of getting to shop there. And we waited in line for 30 minutes to check out. And finally they said, oh, the register is completely broken, but we're going to open this other register over here. So we went over there, finally got checked out, and then had to wait another like 8 minutes to get out of the store because they have to check your receipt as you were leaving. I said to the wife, I said, what are they going to do if I just go around this line and I leave? I paid for the stuff. I own it.
Yeah.
They can't technically stop me.
That is 100% correct.
David said, what's in the second box? It's been so long, I don't remember. It hasn't been that long. This is this month's box. This is April's. That was March that I did. This is April. This came with a Box Mountain cryptid crate. Oh, I got a cryptid crate that I need to open too. That was sent to me a long time ago. Everything in it's probably rotten. But yeah, Box Mountain cryptid crate, Pips Mountain dice, and of course the maker box.
Of course, if it's going to you, it's more like a faker box.
More airheads.
I know most people try and line this up so it's like precisely positioned, but I don't think I've got the patience for that today. Come to the left just a smidge.
Tom Lama said Costco or BJ's all the same. We're actually getting a BJ's here. Up until now, Sam's has been our only choice. Costco's told us that they had bought the property and they were building up here the year we bought this property, which was in 2004. And they've never built up here. So that guy totally lied. He didn't know what he was talking about.
It's like the place we bought because they were like, oh yeah, the highway between Ottawa and where you're going to live, they're going to 4-lane that, and the prices are going to go up. It's going to be fantastic. Your commute time's going to drop. Nope. Been here 10 years. No 4 lanes.
Well, I mean, they're just now widening our main highway. It was 3 lanes coming in, squeezes down to 2 lanes through our town, and then would go back up to 3 lanes on the other side. And they've been talking about it for 20 years, and they're just now doing it. And it's going to probably take them 20 years to do it. So, all right. So my spool one in this box is mixtape number 4 PLA. What can I say about green? Some people like the light green, some people like the forest green, and some people like that leaf green. It's one of the colors we keep getting requests for, a different shade all the time. It's almost like people don't realize that our whole company color scheme is red, and we only have like 3 reds. But no, you want more green. I mean, David's favorite color is a rich cobalt blue, and we only have 3 blues and no blue gray. Doesn't count. Oh, and no blue gray doesn't count because it's more gray. Seriously, we have like 6 greens. Come on, people. When will you be happy? Okay, fine. Here's another green. By this point, we have more shades of green than some filament makers making their entire color palette. So, it's really funny because, way back in the day, way back when I first started in 3D printing, green was like one of the hardest colors to print. Like for some reason, it always gave you a harder time printing green than any other color, which I thought was strange. And it wasn't just me. I ran it by the by the hive mind, and people agreed. Or they were just, pandering to me. I don't know. One or the other.
Pandering.
So, yeah, that is definitely a dark. That is a dark green. Almost looks black on there. Come on, focus. I hate autofocus. I just don't understand. Can land a man on the moon and we can't make a camera that autofocuses properly.
Oh, you don't believe people actually landed on the moon, do you?
Oh, at least twice. I think that there's still people that live on there and they won't tell us about it.
Wake up, people.
Spool number 2 is beige number 500. Look at that. Look at that, James. I got a spool of beige number 500.
Must be nice.
Just shows up in my house. I didn't even ask for it. It just showed up in a box and boom, there it is.
Must be nice.
Oh, it's so easy. It's so easy to get it. And, if I want more, I can just hop over to the website, click a couple buttons, lay down the credit card, and boom, it'll be here.
I wonder how much I have to pay him to ban you from the website. Banning you from the website doesn't cost any shipping to Canada.
So I just want to make a comment, and that is that David's a bit of a retro nerd. And I only say that because it actually says that on this paper. David is a bit of a retro nerd. When he was in high school, like 5,000 years ago, he worked at a store that sold Commodore Amiga computers. See, that was a long time ago. He would fix and sell Commodore computers all day long. I feel like this is like a choose-your-own-adventure novel. During his junior and senior year, he was able to convince the school to let him take an elective by letting him leave school early each day so he could go to work as an intern for a few hours before actually being employed for the day. Well, that was a really, really long time ago. See, I seen the future. I seen that coming. So now David was feeling a little nostalgic for his childhood computers. And one of those computers was called the Amiga 500. There's a strong online community of people out there fixing and maintaining these 30-plus-year-old machines. And one way to start a good argument in those groups is by saying, what is the correct color of the original Amiga 500 computer? Well, David got his hands on some secret backroom inventory repair parts that never saw the light of day, which would be important, and got a color match going. So now you have an Amiga 500 color match filament to start your retro computer hobby. Now, maybe I should reprint the top of my Commodore 128, being I was so stupid and painted it black. But that is, it's funny because like you look at this and you're like, what a horribly putrid color. Why would I ever want a filament in this terrible color?
Tell us how you really feel, Glenn.
What's that?
I said, tell us how you really feel, Glenn.
When do I not? But the cool part is that is a very specific need filament, and that's what makes it so cool. So all that green would work good for a great project. 50 Shades of Green. When Glenn reads it, he makes me sound happy. That description is meant to be read in an angry and short temper. Oh, the first one? Do I need to go back and read it angry? You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
I wouldn't like you.
What can I say about green? Some people like the light green. Some people like the forest green. And some people like that leaf green. It's one of the colors we keep getting requests for. A different shade all the time. I have to pick that up. I like to hang on to these. Oh, exciting. Oh, David said I can also get free shipping. Because I don't live in the Canada.
Everybody hates Canada.
Blame Canada. Oh, sorry.
I watched my first new Simpsons episode in over 12 years, I guess. We haven't watched The Simpsons since we moved down here. And it was an episode called Go Canada.
Freddie said, nice. Considered an actress future. Hey, you guys wait till you see these videos that are coming on Fun King Garage. We were supposed to film the last few scenes of it today, but Sean had a job interview instead. Yeah, like he made me like do scenes over and over again until I got it right. I'm not used to that.
You're not used to having to do things multiple times, or you're not used to getting things right?
Both. I usually just do it and then I just run with it. But he's like, no, do it again and do it like this. So it's I've already seen not the whole trailer because we haven't filmed the whole trailer. There's still a couple scenes that we have to shoot, but I've seen the bulk of it and it's impressive. In fact, one of Sean's friends is a producer. I don't know if I'm supposed to be saying this stuff, but he's a producer for Nat Geo, the National Geographic Network. And when Sean showed it to him, the first question he asked was, "What network is that for?" And Sean said, "YouTube." So yeah, Sean, his mind works a lot differently than mine. You know, he's like, "Oh, I'll put the camera over here," and I'm like, "Why? I just put it on the tripod looking at me." And let me tell you, he makes this look good.
Do you feel okay? So, like, all kidding aside, do you feel like with him helping you with the stuff that your channel is going to have a higher chance of success?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, for two things. Well, now three things. Shout out to Sergio from HVAC A to Z for the $19.99 US. It is greatly appreciated, and I don't think that I don't have a banner, so I will create that now.
You should write a little app that generates these for you. You know, just punch in the name and it goes, "This segment sponsored by."
I may or may not have already been looking into that.
Oh, there you go. Get out of my brain, he says. No. I just designed this generic arcade marquee for that 2-player arcade cabinet for one of my people over on the Patreons.
Well, that's nice of you. So yeah, to answer the question, I think that it has a far greater chance at succeeding because I actually have somebody who knows how to film stuff, who has a very creative mind when it comes to cinematography, has worked in professional TV and movies, so like kind of knows the way that it all works. So plus now I have somebody who's going to hold me accountable and vice versa. But the other big thing too is 3D printing is a hard content to run a YouTube channel on.
I agree.
And I mean it's easy to see that. I mean if you go out and look at all of the YouTube channels that are based around 3D printing, you can tell that it's a hard audience. I had a really great chat with I don't know, maybe you guys have heard of the guy Chuck Hellebuck. But and honestly, for those of you who haven't, that's Chep. Please look him up, Filament Friday. But no, Chuck was telling me that, you know, like he's talked to a couple of larger YouTubers and both of them pretty much told him, you know, like when he told them what his content was, they were like, wow, good luck. And it got me to thinking that, you know, the 3D printing community as a whole is relatively small. And a YouTube channel never gets 100% of the audience. Yep. So now you're fighting for a small chunk of a very small audience to begin with. So instead, I've picked a format where there's a chance I may catch myself on fire or blow something up. You know, like I got some potential.
Well, I'm going to have to resubscribe. I didn't realize that those are potential things.
Mitch said, we don't want to see you, Glenn. We want to see a dirty old motor. No, we have, and again, it's not all car stuff. I mean, anytime you think garage, you know, you always think car. There will be a lot of automotive content because it's a great deal of what I do in my free time. my free time. But I mean, we have some other projects planned. A few things that I'm going to build that will, consist of some welding and maybe woodworking if I can get a budget, because wood is ridiculous. If I haven't said that enough already.
You would say that.
And then one of the projects may have something to do with a boat. Maybe. So.
Is this that boat thing that, was it a boat that you bought plans for years and years ago?
Uh-huh.
I already know what it is then, don't I?
Yeah.
So do most people that are regular watchers here at...
That's right.
Project Talk with James and Glenn.
And then you're going to get to come along for the ride. So.
But not the sinking. That's just for you.
Right. No.
And Sean, because he'll be the one filming it.
Right. You don't literally get to come along for the ride. Unless maybe I do some kind of a Patreon giveaway. Oh, speaking of Patreon, I got some really cool ideas. Like, they were ideas I had for Fun King 3D's Patreon, and they haven't come to fruition yet, but I've snowballed the ideas, and I'm going to do it on both channels. So anybody that supports me on either Patreon, there's going to be some cool stuff coming. Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen, it's Ricky Tanner. Hey, Ricky, I haven't seen you like forever. I haven't seen you in forever. Throw a few wrenches at the printer and swear every once in a while. Makes for good printing content. What's that? You? Me? Oh, it's the other machine. Ready to choose a backup options? No, I'm ready for you to quit having stuff pop up on my machine I didn't ask for. Stupid Microsoft. You mean that big truck rotting in the lawn kind of boat?
Everybody remember to give Glenn a thumbs up. It's what sustains him for the week.
It is. It's the only thing that keeps me going. Otherwise, I cry myself to sleep.
He doesn't share any of the thumbs up with me, so it's a one-sided partnership.
Well, I mean, there's no conversion to go from U.S. thumbs up to Canadian thumbs up, so it's not my fault. You need to talk to the government about that. As long as we're, throwing stuff out there. That's an official YouTube domain name. Yes.
What's an official YouTube domain?
I have my official YouTube URL. So it broke the 100. It broke the 100 subscribers. It has to be 30 days old. You have to have 100 subscribers. You have to have a profile picture and a banner picture, which I had done all of that. I was just waiting for the 100 subscribers. So it hits the 100, and I'm so excited. And I go in and I'm refreshing the page to get the URL, and it doesn't come up. It didn't come up until this morning. And I'm like, yo, you dirty. But yeah, huge thanks to everybody who has subscribed over to the other channel.
Feel free to unsubscribe now.
What's that?
Feel free to unsubscribe now.
Well, I mean, honestly, if it's not something that you want to follow, you can, but I would wait until at least the first video comes out.
I wonder if you drop down under 100 again now, if they take away, they're like, nope, that's not yours anymore.
It does actually say they reserve the right to remove custom URLs, and it says, for like suspended accounts and stuff. So I don't know. And remember, if in Australia, New Zealand, or China, it's a thumbs down because it's all upside down from us there. Mark said, does it tell you who puts it? Yes, absolutely. It tells me who gave me thumbs down. No, it doesn't. Thank you, Ricky. Much appreciated.
I feel like
it says 126. I really wish you guys could see that. Maybe I need to stretch the other camera. Let's get fancy. I have all these cameras and I don't use them because I don't have a Sean in here.
That's a stool, not a camera.
Hey, don't you be talking about my stool.
Where did you get that sample? You know what? I've been cleaning the past couple of weeks. I just found the stool sample that John was handing out.
Oh.
Remember that?
I didn't know where that story was going, and it didn't sound very good.
I was cleaning and I found my poop.
I was cleaning and I found my stool sample that I never sent to the lab.
They would have just dumped it anyways.
All right, let's see what I can show you guys without. Oh, there we go. But let's do that one. Can you guys see that up in the corner?
Yeah, but now we can see you too.
Well, yeah, you have to be able to. How about if I just stay like right here?
That's fair.
Oh, it's like cycling. I don't know what it's doing.
Adjust it in OBS. If you back it up much further, we're not going to be able to read the number.
Yeah, that's true. Just this cord is so short.
How short is it?
6 feet.
Oh, I thought we were setting up for a joke.
That was the joke. Oh.
I thought I
All
was.
right. So if I slide that in.
Nope. Well, I gotta get your brightness. Oh,
You know, this is just stupid. This is just stupid. Why would I do it like this? There's so much technology around us.
this would be so much better if every time it pulsed in and out, it changed numbers.
That would, as long as it was going up, that would be great.
I mean, for me, either way.
Thanks for having so much faith in me.
Gotta have faith of the heart. So the other thing, so we replaced our fridge, and the new fridge does not fit where the old fridge was. We were looking at a narrower fridge than normal, and also not as deep because it had to be counter height to put a fridge back where the other one was. So Kayleen instead decided to pick up a much larger beast of a fridge. So now I have to design a custom, kind of like a microwave cart or whatever, to go in where the old dishwasher was, to reclaim that space. So I was going to spend some time mapping that out today after I finish that arcade thing, eh? Let's make a space that's the size of the thing that's going to happen with the stuff.
I'm going to make it that dark. Is that still legible to everybody?
Yes.
Not that anybody else really cares other than me, but
now you can also use the transform function and zoom in on the number so you can have just the, oh.
What?
You done goofed, I was about to call you Francis, and I don't know why.
Well, but also by making it that dark, you can't see all my crap in the background. All right. And then let's go to that. I was going to screen share it, but then it would be like big on the screen, and we don't need that. Again, nobody else really cares. You know, I mean, Ricky subscribed and didn't even get to see his own number go on there. Where did I leave off in the chat? Tom said, "Where's Sean? Drag him in." He was in Tampa all weekend, and like I said, he had a job interview today. So if you're gonna click the thumbs down, then click it twice. Yeah, really get it to stick there, Freddie. You're right.
Yep.
Just double click that thumbs down. Oh, well, that was fun. All my printing's done for the day.
Oh, you're printing and you're playing.
I think I'm gonna actually let me go. I'm gonna disappear for a second because I have to go to the slicing computer, but I'm gonna slice this out at 99% because I'd like to be able to slide the camera in and out of there, and this isn't gonna slide out very good. So let's give it a little export at 99%.
Trying to figure out if I goofed here now. I've never used Fusion to map out the creation of a item I'm going to make out of wood.
Now we got to wait for it to get hot. Could somebody make a 3D printer that just like gets instant hot? I mean, I know 24 volt does better than 12 volt. I think that the bed on the FK1 actually heats faster than the bed on my Prusa does. But so maybe I need to put an AC heater on the Prusa. Yeah, I don't know if I can pop this camera back out of here without breaking something. It's pretty tight.
Pretty tighty.
Not tight like cool, but tight like is in. Oh, see, I broke it. Not the camera.
That's good.
Yeah, just the 3D print. Like the little retaining tab doesn't even need to be on there. It fits so tight. And then my other camera, the one that I like this view where I walk in front of the camera. My other quote unquote GoPro Pro Go is a Activion, and I've filmed with this before, and it does a pretty good job. But it's actually slightly larger than the GoPro, so maybe I shouldn't have thrown those other ones. Yeah, I shouldn't have. Good thing I missed this one. But the buttons aren't all the same either. Yeah, that fits in that cage pretty good. And the cable holes are in the same spot. The only thing that's not, this one's got a secondary button on the top that I don't know what it does. It's the mode button. Oh yeah, because the GoPro, the mode button's on the front. But I bet I could poke that button through there's a slit in the top of this thing for the retaining tab. I could still poke it with something. Tight like a nun's habit. A-nuts can get instantly hot. Yeah, but I want it to be a controlled hot.
I think I keep screwing up measurements in my head, which, will happen.
What's the matter?
I think I keep screwing up these measurements in my head.
Yeah.
The other thing is like, obviously I'm building a lumber, so everything's in Imperial, and I'm entering Imperial numbers into Fusion, but it converts them to metric. So then I'm like, what did I put in for this? It's like, oh yeah, 901.7 millimeters. So then I got to convert, or just start again. Try and get it right this time.
So again, not having used Fusion very much, can you, like in Rhino, I have to choose what I want my measurements to be. But
so yeah, you can switch between Imperial and metric, but I think it does it for all projects. So I'm probably just gonna not mess with it for this one.
Yeah, because like I can go in and change it through the settings. Like if I had been doing it all in Imperial, I could go over, like go in and change it to metric. But because it's funny, anything that I do 3D printing is all metric. Everything else that I do is Imperial.
Yeah. That's exactly how she be though.
But I'm telling you, 3D printing has absolutely ruined me for other projects, because it's like everything I do, I try to get the same tolerances that I do in 3D printing, and it just doesn't. It's just not. I mean, you're not going to get, cutting a sheet of plywood, you're not going to get the kind of tolerances that you get when you're catting something and printing it. So it's always pretty funny because I get mad that it's not right. Yeah, this case isn't going to work. It blocks the SD card slot. Bummer. I'll have to design my own for the Activion.
Freddy's heading to bed?
Freddy's headed to bed, yeah. Well, thank you for being here, Freddy. I'm sorry these streams are so late for you. If we could just do them 24 hours a day. then it would cater to everybody. But
What are you gonna do?
is that one of those things they put in the middle of a pizza so the box doesn't crush it?
Exactly. Heck of a size of pizza too.
No, I wasn't paying attention. I hope there wasn't a tail draped off of that thing. There is. Crud. I got it. I got it. Forgot to check it for ooze. Usually I preheat and then I manually print, but I didn't want to have to go back over there. So
The secret of the ooze.
the secret of the ooze.
I don't have all the tools to do this as properly as I'd like, so I'm gonna just do it with what I got and hope for the best.
You don't have the tools for the design or the physical tools to build it?
The physical tools to build it. Kay wants a butcher block top on it, which would be handmade, but generally you also want a jointer and a planer for after you put the wood together to give it a nice even top. I don't have physical room for
Yeah, or a big tabletop belt sander. But you know, you could buy butcher block. At least you can here.
I'm gonna ask. I also have a friend that has the tools, but things are a little awkward with the Rona right now.
Yeah.
So I've done this. I've done similar stuff before, and it didn't turn out absolutely perfect. But we'll see how it goes. I'm gonna build it so that it can be taken apart. So that if
yeah, because otherwise IKEA is another option for butcher block tops.
I'm actually probably going to end up switching to Imperial anyways, because I am going to want to be able to export the sizes for things into Imperial.
I probably should have just designed my own case for this. So being not familiar with GoPros, and I could look it up, but maybe somebody knows, because there's a micro SD card slot on the side, but does anybody know what this big slot on the back is? I don't know if you guys can see that. It looks like an SD card slot, like a full-size one, but it's not real deep. Tom Llama said, "Gots to go to dinner, I guess." Oh, go deal with dinner, I guess. Well, thanks for being here, Tom. Mike sliding in, saying hello only to Ricky and shunning the rest of us.
That's fair. I think that's pretty much all she wants anyways. There's going to be a shelf across here and a shelf across here. Nothing complicated. The most complicated thing will probably be cutting the notches, because I don't think I'll go straight across here. I think I'll also come into the front so that it lines up flush, but we'll see how fancy I'm feeling when I get to that point. And
you're planning on building this out of wood?
Yeah.
Wow, man, it must be nice to have your money.
It's
how are lumber prices in Canada?
Double to triple what they were before the pandemic.
Okay, so it's the same there.
I think I used to pay like under $3 for like a dimensional 2x4, like for doing studs and stuff, and now it's like $7 or $8. So.
Yeah, it's they were like a standard wall stud was like $2.97, and now it's like $8.
That's the way the cookie crumbles.
It's ridiculous. I said, even if I had the money right now to build the walls that I want to build in the garage, I wouldn't do it. Because, sure enough, as soon as I spend all that money on lumber, then the prices are going to drop.
Yep.
And I'll be like, why didn't I wait? I've waited 10 years. What's another 10? Tom said, I think that's a flash shoe or remote trigger thingy. Yeah, because it didn't come with any paperwork or whatever, so I'm going to have to dig up and see. I just noticed that it does have a Wi-Fi button on it. I didn't realize that it was Wi-Fi capable, so that's pretty cool. Because it doesn't have it doesn't have any LCD to see what you're seeing, and somebody's going to have to monitor it. And by somebody, I mean Sean. Or Xander. Xander is like the assistant videographer. And he's already learning a lot, so.
Does that mean his live streams are going to get better too?
No. No, we had I don't know if you heard him, but he goes, nope. We had the conversation the other day at lunch. Him and I go to lunch together on Fridays because otherwise I don't ever see him. But, I was telling him, his market is a hard market to be in too. There's so many people that do gaming market.
So oversaturated at this point.
Yeah. I told him, I said, you have to come up with something that sets yourself apart. Like when you die in Minecraft, you get a severe electrical shock in your chair. I can rig that up.
I just want you to be successful, son.
John said at work they built our sheetrock walls with steel 2x4s. Yeah, metal framing is absolutely a thing. The problem is when you get into structural metal framing, it gets to be very expensive. And what I'm building in there actually needs to be structural because it's going to hold up a second floor. So.
Well, I think that's pretty simple.
Well, that looks really nice. I'm pretty sure you could just buy that at IKEA.
So we actually bought something specifically to go there, and Kayleen pulled it out of the box, and there's parts broken. She's like, "Can you just build me something? I don't want to deal with this."
Yeah,
because everything's gonna come through the mail.
Stuff is built so crappy.
And the thing is, like, I'm building this out of 2x2s because it doesn't have to be like stupidly strong, right? So I don't want to go any bigger than that. So if lumber prices were the way they used to be, the amount of lumber that's going to go into this, it would probably cost me less than $100 to build, and it's going to cost me $400 or $500 to go get something that's made out of even just pine that's like pre-built.
Well, it's probably going to cost you $400 to build that at today's prices.
Could be. I actually have to break it down and figure out how many pieces I can get for each of the slats or whatever out of 2x2s, and I might as well check what the price of a 2x2 is now.
Yeah, well, I mean, the 2x2s isn't really going to be the terrible part. It's whatever, like are you doing butcher block for all the shelves too?
So I'm probably going to do makeshift butcher block out of like essentially 2x2s cut up and then glued together and then finished.
Yeah, it's just crazy. I mean, at the point that OSB, I always have a hard time not calling it OBS. OSB, which I used to pay $6 a sheet for the 7/16 stuff, and now it's like $40 a sheet for garbage wood. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And then I built a. My dad had built a table for his then wife for doing sewing on, and eventually they built a new sewing room and built a bigger table, and I ended up with the old one, and the top has been sitting around for some time now, and this weekend I decided I was going to turn it into a bench, so I cut it down to fit where I needed it to go. Mm-hmm. But I needed a backsplash on the back of it and a shelf so that stuff didn't fall off the bench into the never location. And so I broke out some plywood and stuff that I already had, and I was out there cutting it, and I thought, man, neighbors driving by seeing me cut this, I hope they don't think that like I have a big windfall or something, and I'm gonna come and borrow money thinking I got all this money cutting 3/4 inch plywood. I mean, whoo, that's got to be what, $100 a sheet now. But it's just insane. It was going to cost me that the space is a little bit under 8 feet where I wanted to build it. And I was going to build the top out of 2x6s with one leg in the middle. Otherwise, it would support off of walls on each side. And it was going to cost me $315 for the lumber before tax and hardware. And I thought, nope, this is ridiculous.
I think we're going to revisit the IKEA option. I just figured out what it's going to cost.
Did you just figure it out?
Well, I started mapping it out in my head. So for me to, even if I'm building it out of pine, because it's just going to be a microwave stand. Like, she likes the look of the butcher block style, but it's not going to be used as like a butcher block countertop.
I gotcha. Yeah.
So obviously, if you're building something like this, especially for the top pieces, you need, because you're going to be gluing it together, you can't go with the dimensional stuff and then sand it because it's got those curved edges on it, right?
Right.
So for me to go with like knotty pine with the non-curved edges is like $10 a piece, and I can cut each of those into 2 pieces for a shelf, but that still means that I need like $80 worth per shelf. So also I'm at $860, so I'm over $300 to build it, and then I've got to spend the time actually doing it. So
yeah, and you could build those. You could build those legs out of steel for probably $8, and not really, but
everything's expensive.
if it's in Delaware, we don't have sales tax. Yeah, that was the fun part when I used to visit my mom in New Hampshire too. Going to buy something for 99 cents and actually pay with $1 and get a penny back.
Yeah, you guys still have your pennies.
Yes, we still have pennies. They're made of copper in the tears of small children.
And they're all out of copper, so.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious what the plywood that I was using yesterday was just it was scrap left from making the boards for my windows from hurricane season a few years back.
Mm.
And it's not actually 3/4, it's what, 23, somebody help me out, 23/64?
Don't ask me. I've never gone on the Imperial March. Okay, well, I guess I can go back to full screen now because I think that's it for.
I mean, that's bad enough that they jip you that 30/2 of an inch. Yeah, 23/32. RTD sheathing, 4'8", $66 a sheet. And I paid $18 for those when I bought it, and it was still a gut punch. 1/2 inch, 4x8, oriented strand board, which is wood made of garbage. $40 a sheet locally.
That's the equivalent of chicken wings, right? Like chicken wings were made up because there's parts of the bird that they would just discard. And,
yeah, like chicken tenders, you mean?
No, I was like, they used to throw away the wing part of the chicken because there's almost no meat on it. And then basically I think it boiled down to like one day somebody had a bunch of it left over, cooked it up, and then realized, oh, you toss it with some sauce, it's really good. And then all of a sudden it became an industry, and now you pay.
Yeah, that took place in Buffalo, New York, hence the term buffalo wings.
That sounds like a lie. Sounds like something you just made up off the top of your head.
Google it.
Who has time to Google things? I'd rather just express my outrage like a normal person.
It's the story that I heard.
Here's the story.
Yeah, Tom said OSB's the crap they sweep off the floor making plywood. Yeah, same with like particle board. They just take sawdust and pack it together with glue, and yet particle board prices have gone up. They're still making the same amount of sawdust, and it's still glue. Bye, Sergio. Thank you for being here, and thank you for the donation. It is greatly appreciated. Someday I might start sharing these with James. In fairness, I offered to send James money, and he's like, no, you need it much more than I do. I have so much money, I'm going to build a wooden table with a butcher block top.
Must be nice. Must be nice. Oh, but now you got the corona, so.
I do not. I'm half vaccinated. I get my second vaccination on May the 4th.
May the 4th be with you. That's my dad's birthday.
I said I better get the force from getting the vaccine.
Kayleen showed me a TikTok the other day, and it's this guy the other day, and it's this guy getting the vaccination, but like it's one of these videos where it's the same guy playing all the characters in it.
Right.
And there you go, you're done the vaccination. He goes, they're fully vaccinated. And she, in the female characters, no, that's you got to come back for another. And he goes, I've had all 5. What do you mean you've had all 5? And he's 5 Johnson and Johnson, like listing them off. Like, I don't know that that's a good idea. He's like, why be immune when you can be invincible? And like pushes the nurse over, and then these people come in with guns, and he's like moving them around and stuff. I had a good chuckle over it.
Yes. Well, like I haven't publicly announced that I got the vaccine. Like I've been kind of keeping it a secret.
How's the mind control going so far?
You tell me.
I mean, that's why you haven't announced it. You want to, but something won't let you.
So, well, the joke there was I haven't publicly announced it, and yet I just said it on YouTube.
Yeah.
So when I got the shot, which it hurt like crazy, like my whole arm hurt like crazy, but I don't take needles well anyway. But so that day when I came home, like I was messing with Zach, I'd go up to him and I'd look at him and I'd do like, and he'd go, "What are you doing?" I go, "Well, I guess I didn't get mind control as my superpower." And then when I went in to put him to bed, his door was closed. So I walk up and I like bang into the door and I go, "Oh," and I open the door and I go, "Oh, I guess I didn't get the power to walk through doors," So like I kept doing this to him. So every night when I'm putting him to bed and we're saying prayer, I hold his hand, and sometime ago he started this thing where he squeezes my hand really hard. So like I squeeze it back. So I'm doing it to him that night, and he goes, "Well, I guess your superpower is not super strength."
Oh, you got burned by your kid. That makes me so happy.
Yeah, because we always do this thing like he'll squeeze and I'll go, "Oh, were you squeezing? It felt like a warm summer breeze blowing across my skin," and it's like
typical Glenn being a jerk face. Got it.
Glenn Hogue said his second shot scheduled for a week from Wednesday. He didn't notice any superpowers either. Tom said, "I got a new phone to take advantage of the 5G chip activation with my second shot."
That's smart. Get ahead of it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, my whole rationale behind it, I mean, for anybody that's on the fence, I mean, it's your choice. Nobody can make you do. Well, I guess they can, but they shouldn't make you do what you don't want to do. But my thought is if you don't get the vaccine, you're going to get corona anyway. I mean, eventually you're just going to get it. And so I'd rather get it in a controlled atmosphere, and we'll see. Of course, now they're saying that you may need a booster shot every 6 months to a year. And it's like, as much as that thing hurt, man, I don't want another one.
It'll probably get easier. They'll probably get more refined with stuff. But because there's people like, "Oh yeah, this is supposed to fix everything." I'm like, well, it also seems to be, what's the word I'm looking for? Virus is transforming into, I'm just having a brain.
Oh yeah, where it's becoming different. Now I can't think of the word.
Right? Like, easiest word in the world to remember, except for right this second. Mutating.
Mutating, there you go.
It seems to be mutating at a faster rate than would be expected. So just like the regular flu changes every year, it kind of makes sense to me that this may become the kind of thing where there's going to be a vaccine yearly to prevent it.
Great. Scott McClellan just chimed in with Mutate. Hello, Scott. Nice to see you again.
Mutate.
Must have been hiding in the background.
Mutate, not exterminate.
Exterminate.
This guy gets it.
David said, "My shot gave me 5G, but I refused to sign up for auto payments. Now I'm stuck with no cell coverage and only get protection when I'm near Wi-Fi."
Lame that they would do that to you. That's so mean.
Glenn said, "Mine didn't hurt at all going in." No, like, all right, so I have sensitive skin, physically, not metaphorically. Xander's the same way. Can't stand needles, neither one of us. So like it was the typical pinch. You know, you're gonna feel a pinch. She was pretty good, but like it was to the point where I could barely move my arm the whole next day. Like it felt like somebody punched me in the arm really, really hard. Tom said made me sick for a day. Neither shot bothered me itself. The first shot didn't really do anything to me other than make me like really kind of lethargic. I just felt like I wanted to nap all day, but I usually feel that way at my age.
Fair.
Every day should be nap day. And then we had a cold run through the house 2 weekends ago. I didn't get it very bad. Like I could feel it. I was a little sniffly and tired, but the wife ended up with sinus infection and acute bronchitis. So that was fun, and it wasn't really cute. Wasn't cute at all. She had a cough that was just horrific, and it would attack her at night when I was trying to get my beauty sleep, and I need as much of that as possible. Xander's actually he won't go to the doctor. And yes, I'm his parent, but I told him he needs antibiotics. He's like, oh, I'm not going to the doctor. They'll give me a shot. So he's still got a little bit of it lagging, but definitely not as bad as Priscilla was. I wonder if this is going to be done. I don't think it's going to be done in time. Only got 34 more minutes.
As the crow flies.
Yeah, these printers need to be faster. So, Xander will be streaming tonight at 7? 6:30 to 7. Somewhere between 6:30 and 7. Depends on how fast we get out of here, I guess. Yeah, if you want to tune into him, you can bug him at twitch.tv/peglegpaul_. Terrible, terrible name. We should set you up a forward off of Pegleg Paul, so you can just go to like twitch.peglegpaul.com. I'll work on that. Glenn Hogue said, I used to donate platelets when the Fenwal CS3000 was the machine they used. That required a big needle in each arm. No thanks. I gave blood one time, and they said, let me know if you start to feel faint. And I'm like, okay. And like 10 seconds later, boy, it was like, ooh, and I'm like, I don't feel so good. And they started dumping ice water on me. And then they had to give me a shirt, and the shirt said I was a sissy and passed out giving blood. No, that's not really what it said, but it should have. So I've never given blood since then. Apparently need all mine.
Can't afford to lose any. No,
apparently not. So, no, the vaccine needle was tiny. Like I seen the needle. Like I'm not terrified of needles. I don't like needles. Well, no, that's not true. I don't care about needles. I don't like getting shots. But like, so I seen the needle, and it was like, I mean, it was like a typical, insulin needle. It was tiny, but like she shot it in the top of my shoulder right here, and then the whole arm was just, David said everybody at Printed Solid will be done with their second shots by the end of the month. That is awesome. So then you know that when your box arrives from Printed Solid, it does not contain the COVID inside.
Hopefully.
Mainly because they've proven
it the other day.
They've proven that it doesn't live on surfaces. But,
yeah, I mean, for very long.
Yeah, well, yeah, I suppose if you like
like
it'd be there for a second or so, but. Scott said, wait, what? Something's wrong here. Glenn is actually printing something, and James isn't playing video games. No, I'm printing a cage for my new GoPro. That may or may not. I mean, again, I've never owned a GoPro, so like if it works out well, I may start using them on this channel as well, but that's for Fun King Garage. But it was used and it didn't come with any type of accessory, so I'm printing a cage for it. So, and James has been banned from playing video games by the global video game. I don't know. I couldn't come up with anything.
Jeez, I beat your kid at one video game once, and everybody gets all worked up.
Yeah.
Why am I being punished because Xander's terrible at video games? I don't understand.
That's right. So no, this is exactly why I own a 3D printer, or 11 or 12. I don't even know anymore. Because when I need something useful, that's when it comes in handy. I cannot print any more things. I mean, even when something like really excites me and it's like, oh, that's really cool, I should have one of those. No, I just can't do it. I just can't have more crap laying around. And I know that I've told you guys on multiple occasions that I am a collector of things. I have many things. So it's a move in the right direction for me to not have more things. And I am working very, very hard at getting the garage clean, which it's just never happened. Once everything got moved in there, it's never been clean since. So, but every day gets a little better. But this is definitely the reason to own a 3D printer. I mean, and I could have bought one of these. And in fact, I think I did. I think one of the mounts that I bought comes with a cage, but I didn't care. I still wanted to print one. So, printed in Fun King 3D Black from IC3D. Speaking of PETGs, how's that going, Dave? How is the printed solid PETG coming along? And if you don't want to tell everybody, that's fine. You can send me a private message and just tell me. That way I can be in the know and nobody else has to be.
I'm working on my, in secret, which is why it's not being shared on the screen. I'm working on my next PCBWay sponsored project.
Nice.
So I'm hoping, I took this week off to try and finish a bunch of house stuff and also to try to get a couple weeks ahead on video content, because I was doing pretty well at 1 to 2 a week there for a while, and then I don't know. Reality.
It takes a lot of time. You should get a editor.
I've honestly been tempted for sponsored videos to take the money, because like I see this a lot of the stuff as like building towards a future, right? So I've been tempted to take the money that I'm being paid for sponsored videos and pay an editor to edit the video and make it as good as possible. But then you have to actually find somebody that you can work with, and I'm also really bad at telling somebody if I don't like what they did for me. So
yeah.
I've been very lucky so far, because everybody I've worked with so far, I've enjoyed what they did.
I know that you truly hate that shirt you're wearing.
It's true. It makes me look fat, and everybody knows I'm super, super fit. So it's true. Sounds like you need more runs than over at Printed Solid.
Yeah, definitely sounds like it's time for another line. Yeah, I can only imagine. I mean, like it takes so much time to switch between PLA and PETG on a printer. I can only imagine what it takes to do it on a production line.
Something like over 9,000.
Yeah. Well, I need a Fun King Garage yellow PETG. Which happens to be the same color as Fun King 3D, but I was really hoping that was going to be done in time, but now the world may never know if it fit. It's only 48%. Well, maybe.
And this is the last stream of the year. I mean, last stream ever, right? That's why people will never know.
That's right. Yeah, we're never doing this again. What a terrible idea.
We are never, ever, ever getting back together. And you just got copyrighted claimed by T Swift.
What's that?
I said, and you just got copyrighted claimed by T Swift.
Yeah, that is something that I'm gonna have to figure out too, because when I'm out in the garage working, I like to have the radio playing. I can't do that anymore. I don't know if I'm gonna have to get like earbuds.
Video killed the radio star, but music killed the YouTube star.
Yeah, I get earbuds, and then when Sean's yelling at me that I'm not doing it right, I won't hear him.
That's fair.
He's like, do it again, and I'll be like, I'm keeping going.
Can't understand what you're saying there, She-Bear.
Yeah, after the trailer is released, I might tell some fun stories.
I hope the trailer has to do with this project being a trailer. It's the trailer. Trailer.
Well, Xander and I actually shot the trailer before Sean got here. Xander and I filmed the trailer, but it was awful, and the microphone. I had the microphone. I was trying to use a cell phone as a camera, and the microphone wasn't working right, and I ended up having to go from the output of the microphone receiver, and then when we decided that wasn't going to work and we jacked it into the regular camera, I didn't change it, and so it was like, and I'm like, no, we can't use this. It's garbage.
That sounds like quality shiznit. I don't know why you wouldn't use it.
Oh no, it was awful. It was so awful. So, and then without giving too much away, the first video, like Xander shot the whole first video, which was a 2-hour repair on an automobile, and a job that would take me about 20 minutes without filming. It was 2 hours, and then the audio was absolute garbage on that as well.
Yeah, I've learned the hard way that you got to check your audio quality like everywhere along the way.
Yeah. But luckily for me, that repair didn't take, and I had to do it again. So.
Yeah, lucky you. I had such a long list of this design I'm working on. I had such a long list of things that I needed to change, and then I forgot. Because I got halfway through them and then got pulled onto other stuff.
Trello. Use Trello.
No.
It will change your life, man.
Can't use it. Not allowed.
You're not allowed to use Trello?
No.
Banned in Canada?
Banned in Canada. Not enough maple syrup.
Trello sounds too much like hello, and they don't want you being nice.
I don't know why you say hello. I said Trello. That's how that song goes, right?
Something like that, yeah. Yeah, I started using Trello based on recommendation when I started the FK1 project, and with my ADD, it helped tremendously, because I would end up shifting from one thing to another. Like, I'd be working on something and I'd look, oh, I never crimped that wire on, and then all of a sudden I'd be overdoing the wiring and stuff. So instead I'd never crimped that thing on, so I'd just immediately go into Trello and make a note that I need to crimp that wire, and then I'd continue doing what I was doing. And it absolutely kept me on track to finish. And now I use it for so much. I use it for so much stuff now. So in fact, I use it. If anybody has a suggestion for another way, I was looking for some type of software, some type of a database software that I could keep track of the maintenance on my automobiles. And apparently there just isn't anything out there, at least not that I can find. I mean, without like paying, dealership prices for software, but so now I keep track of it all through Trello. So, yay, Trello.
I feel like you could spit out an app that does what you want it to, or even like just an access.
Well,
Like,
Yeah, I didn't think about writing in Access. I've never really played with Access. I worked for a company that wrote a major piece of software in it years ago, but I didn't really have anything to do with the development on that. I was going to write it with a PHP, PHP with a MySQL backend, but then it's pretty much got to run on the web, and then you got to worry about people hacking it and cracking it, and
I mean, you could expose it externally if you're worried about it, and just
what's that?
You could not expose it externally and just have it run internal on your network if you want.
Yeah, I could run it on my local server and stuff, but Robbie Mac said I just use a notepad and put it in my glove box. That's a pretty good idea. No, I like to be able to have, because like if I'm looking at parts and stuff and I want the VIN number to verify and stuff, I like being able to grab it from whatever machine I'm on. So I store my VIN numbers and stuff in on my Trello. Heaven forbid anybody ever hacked in there and got my VIN number. That's perfectly visible from the window of my car.
Your vehicle identification number.
Yeah, sorry. Yes, the VIN.
I'm going to be that guy today, apparently.
Yeah. But no, I would love to have some kind of a program that you could track everything. And there are fleet management software packages out there, but one, it's way more than I want to spend, and two, it's way more software than I need. So I take the top off the oil filter, write details on it. Well, I do that as well when I change the oil, I write the mileage. I write the current mileage on the oil filter when I put it on, but that doesn't really, now the cars will generally tell you, like at least one of our cars tells me when it's time for an oil change. And then sometime within the next 1,000 miles, I change it. But yeah. I just, I have 13 cars, folks. 13. They don't all run, but I have 13 cars. It's hard to keep track of all of my cars. It's a hard decision when I get up in the morning. I'm like, what do I want to drive today?
The one that runs.
Yeah, that's more what it is. Oh, which one's running this morning? Yeah, I had a check engine light on the Maxima and I got it fixed, and now it threw another check engine light yesterday, which is unrelated to the other one. It's like as soon as I fix one, I get another one, and it's like, so tomorrow I'm driving the truck. But I'll get it. I'll get it done. It's all content for the channel.
All content for the channel.
62% in the last 10 minutes. I might make it.
I will have to duck out immediately. Kay is waiting for me upstairs, but
Andy is joining us. Good evening to you both. Hope you are well over that way. There's no better way to be than well. What did you say, James? I'm sorry, I talked over you.
So I will have to cut out immediately after the stream. So if it runs a little late, I will, and you want to continue it, I will probably say it.
You have to cut out immediately, if not sooner?
Immediately, not sooner. I mean, immediately after. You know what I mean? English.
Yes. Well, I'm sure Xander will be quite thrilled to have us exiting on time so that he can do his stream.
Yeah, his fan will also be very excited.
Well, he wanted to stream last week, and I told him I couldn't guarantee that we were going to end on time. So it all depends on how the streams were going. Which last week was quite a bit of fun, and then no spoilers, but this week's Battlebots was awesome. Thoroughly enjoyed watching this week's. Got to see Mitch. I don't get to see Mitch on TV very much, but then there he was. I'm like, I know that guy. I've put my face near his butt.
Who hasn't?
Yeah, that's not the right spot. Alias? Yes, that's exactly what I want. So,
I'll tell you what you want, what you really, really want.
tell me what I want, what I really, really want.
I'll tell you what you want, what you really, really want.
I wanna.
I really, really, really want to hit 1 million subscribers.
Oh, I wouldn't even know. I wouldn't even know how to handle that. I won't know how to handle hitting the 100,000 and getting the play button.
I question if I'll ever get there, but I hope.
Well, yeah, you gotta hope. I mean, you gotta aim for it.
Just shoot for the stars if it feels right.
Shoot for the play button.
Play,
I mean,
play.
You know, I watch a little YouTube now and then, and it's like the people who have 3.5 and 4 million subscribers, and then like I watch their channel, I'm like, why does somebody want to watch this nuthead? And then I turn off your channel, James. Oh, you know that's a lie.
Subscribers.
It's totally a lie because I said 3.5 to 4 million subscribers.
Also, that would imply that you would ever tune into my channel in the first place.
I watch all your stuff.
Oh, I'm so glad for not watching yours.
I just thumbs down it all.
Jerk face.
But I'm the greatest jerk face, and don't ever forget it.
The greatest jerk face. His name is Glenn. With 2 N's.
Twitch.tv/horribly peg leg Paul _ Okay, I need everybody to test this. If we go to
you actually need one person to test it.
Nope, I need everybody to test it.
I can't test it.
If
need everybody to test this.
See, twitch.peglegpaul.com. All right, everybody, right now, go to that URL and tell me what you see. And I promise it's work safe. At least it better be. Did I do it right, Xander? Huh? Did I do it right? Why is it telling me my connection's not secure? Is Twitch not a secured domain name? All right, I have to edit that so that it doesn't manage. I think it's because I went to www and I think that they're just Twitch. Warning, security risk. What are we testing? Don't ask, just do it. All right, now you should be able to do it without security warning. All I did was set up a redirect from Xander's domain name so that he can tell people all they have to do is go to twitch.peglegpaul.com instead of trying to explain to him that his stupid username has an underscore at the end.
You're right, it is a stupid username.
Yeah, if you click it now, if you click that link now, it shouldn't give you a security warning anymore. And the security certificate would be for funking3d.com because that's well, no, actually it should be glennshelton.com, but that's my server. I see Peg Leg Paul's face. I'm so sorry, Scott. I'm sorry that you have to look at that. So every time Xander talks now, because he's hitting that point in his life, he reminds me of the kid from The Simpsons, Mr. Wembley, it happened again.
Dun, 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 dun.
You can't pick on your own kids. Who can you pick on? I mean, somebody else's kids, I guess, but
your classic answer so far has been me, so I'm glad to get a little break from it,
I only pick on those I love.
And me. Oh. And make a Glenn out of a hog. Oh.
Yeah, I set the one up for myself today, yt.funkingarage.com, just to be a little bit shorter than YouTube's URL. So that got me thinking about Xander's horrific username.
It's just with an underscore.
Because you have to say it. So the first domain name that I ever registered was a company that I was working for, and I'm not going to mention them. Not that I have anything against the company, but I don't even know who owns it anymore. I don't even know if it still exists. I suppose I could punch it into the internets and find out, but it had a hyphen in it. And you'd have to actually say to somebody, oh, yeah, our website is www. blah, 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 hyphen, blah, 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 blah. And it was horrible. I hated it so much.
I heard Xander getting upset because of it's just an underscore. Do you know who was the first YouTuber to get 100 million subscribers? It wasn't PewDiePie underscore, was it?
Oh, that's so funny. That domain now goes to a Microsoft site. That's weird.
Because Microsoft owns everything. Do.
I wonder. I think it's on a Microsoft server, and that's the default page. Yeah, I don't even know if that company exists anymore. My friend Matt, who hasn't been in the chat lately, I should shake him and make sure he's okay. But him and I both worked for that company. In fact, when I got out of school, I kept asking Matt, hey, do you know anybody that's hiring? And the company kept asking Matt, hey, do you know anybody that needs a job? And it took him a while to put the two together. But that's how I ended up getting to work with Matt. I see a scary-looking young man with a red hat on. Okay, so the reason that he owns that red beanie, he hates his hair right now. His hair is terribly long, and he needs a haircut, but he also hates to get a haircut. And he was wearing the same gray beanie, and he wouldn't take it off. And I think it kind of adhered to his head because he had worn it for so long. So I got on the Amazons, and I ordered him that one. So I told him he should get a cool hat, like a bowler or a Panama Jack hat. Or
I heard like Ebola. I was like, I don't think he should get Ebola. I don't think that's going to help at all.
Yeah, you should get Ebola, and then all of his hair will fall out. That's a side effect of Ebola, right?
The side effect of me getting near him with a set of clippers.
Well, I've threatened Zach. I said I'm gonna sneak in while you're sleeping and shave a big chunk out of your hair. Zach's hair is so thick. I'm jealous. His hair is so thick, and every morning he wakes up, he's got 2 crowns, which is horrific, but his hair is always just like foofy.
Yep.
So I now have a spray bottle in the bathroom, and I just like, bad kitty. What you doing?
Okay, it's my Popeye.
7 minutes. Xander's already turning his lights on and getting his green screen ready.
Maybe I still have it, maybe I don't. I had a giant pirate hat, big foam one.
Oh, I have a giant pirate hat.
I gotta go take a look now and see if it's still there.
Oh, well, mine is with my giant pirate costume. I have like a legit professional level pirate's costume.
I do believe Killian threw out that giant pirate hat.
Yeah, we went to out at the Big D. We went to Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween one year.
Yeah.
And we were all dressed as pirates. And Priscilla and I were standing not directly outside of Pirates of the Caribbean, but pretty close. And the kids were coming up with their autograph books, asking for autographs. It was legendary.
Did you give them autographs?
Heck yeah. What am I going to say to the kid? I'm not anybody important.
Well,
So I just signed it like Blackbeard, like, no problem, kid. Now give me all your candy.
you are a pirate.
That's how you got diabetes.
Yes, it was that day. That's the day that I got diabetes. Yeah, I tried to buy him a pirate hat when we were in St. Augustine a couple weeks ago, but he wouldn't. Oh, I want to tell that story. So I should have had the graphics available. So we're in the Pirate Museum gift shop, and we're walking around, and Xander points out this magnet, and he's like, "Look at that magnet." And I looked, and I said, "Well, I said that looks just like your logo. I designed that logo years and years ago." Because a friend of mine wanted a Jolly Roger flag outside of his house because you should always fly the Jolly Roger. So I designed that logo for that purpose. And then I put it on t-shirts and stuff. So it's been like 15 years ago or so, maybe longer that I designed that logo. And it was on a magnet in the gift shop. Like Xander pulled his logo up and compared it to the magnet. The only thing is they flipped it.
And they squished it a little bit.
Oh, and they squished it a little. Oh, to make it fit. But it's my graphic. So my graphic got picked up and pirated for a pirate magnet.
And this was at Disney? Is that what you said?
No. In St. Augustine at the Pirate Museum.
I mean, that seems appropriate.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was, it's kind of an honor. But then when I showed it to Priscilla, she looked at it and she said, well, maybe when you designed that logo, you had that one in your mind. And I'm like, and I did it like that exact. I mean, like the edge of the chin is exactly right. And I'm like, no, that's my logo. They totally stole it. So
when's the lawsuit?
Yeah, that would be a never-ending hole into nothing. Because that magnet came out of China.
Yep.
So there was a time when I was out digging through different clip art packages that I found the Fun King in a clip art package. And I contacted and told them that they needed to remove that immediately, which it disappeared out of the preview that you see on there, but I'm sure they didn't take it off of the CD-ROMs that they were selling. So the Fun King logo is out there floating around too, but I know who owns it.
It's me, right?
Well, yeah, but don't tell everybody else that. Oh, it's so close to finishing, 86%, and we only got 3 minutes. I guess you guys are going to have to wait till next week to find out if it fit.
Tune in next week. Same bat time, same bat.
Yeah, well, by then I'll have forgotten that I did it, and I won't tell you. So if you guys really want to know, you just have to ask. Otherwise, I won't remember. So, and if this GoPro works out, and in after I buy the next one, if anybody's interested, I will share the link where I got it. Not affiliate, just happened to have been a really good deal. But I want to make sure I get one more before everybody goes and buys them out.
I already bought them all.
You already bought them all?
Yeah. Now I'm reposting with the same URL, but I'm putting an underscore at the end of it. You ever see there's a clip floating around the internet at one point, and you know how SpongeBob SquarePants starts off, who lives in a pineapple under the sea?
Right.
Somebody edited it, it just goes, who lives in a pineapple under a pineapple? And they edited the scene, and you see like pineapples stopping on top of each other. And then the next thing it pans out, and it's like an orbital view of Earth, and you can still hear like ever slightly in the background, under a pineapple, under a pineapple. And you just see the stack of pineapples extending out into outer space. It was such a dumb thing, but it made me laugh.
I hate SpongeBob. I can't stand it. I can't stand it.
Kay and I didn't grow up with it, so we watched the latest movie a couple of weeks ago because it had Keanu in it.
Yeah. No, I don't know. Baumgarten says, I just noticed the description says we have the same 2 guests this week. Oh, yeah. That's because the guy who does the YouTube descriptions is really lazy.
True.
I mean, he almost forgot to update it to episode 3. I'll fix it in a week or 2. Well, it is now 6:29, so it's probably time to wrap it up. You got anything that you want to plug there, James?
Not really. If people are interested, I posted a link for the shirt. I think I still have it. I can copy and paste it one more time. There will be at least one, if not two, videos out this week. I apparently don't still have the link open, so oh well.
Well, you posted it in chat only like
At the
forever
very
ago.
beginning, right?
Yeah, it was I got it right here. Da-da. And I'm gonna leave it open because I'm gonna start putting it into the descriptions of the videos.
The vidges.
So if you want to get some of James's merch, that's where you do it at, because he doesn't have a cool domain like printandplaymerch.com.
It will be accessible off of printandplay.ca at some point. So, list of things to do.
Totally understand. I'm trying to scramble in and change the description because Bob called me out on it. Hey, at least I know somebody's reading the descriptions.
Just one person, apparently.
Hey, that's all it takes. It just, this week we will not be having two guests. But I thoroughly enjoyed last week's stream. That was so much fun. And I hope that you guys all enjoyed it as well. If there's anybody out there that wants to be a guest, once again, open invitation. You just need to send me an email to Glenn with 2 N's at funking3d.com. Don't send it to Glenn with 1 N. You'll be sorry. It sends you back 1 million spams. I don't know if I could do that. Anyway, that Bob guy, you can't take him anywhere. It's always Bob's fault. So I don't really have anything to plug. There's not much going on. Just a whole nother YouTube channel. Big stuff hopefully coming this week. Again, we were going to film the remainder today and then push for an early week release on the trailer and the first video. But Sean had a job interview today, and that really kind of takes precedence because I don't pay anything. So, because, as rich as I appear to be out there sawing my 3/4 inch plywood, I'm broke and sad. So,
You're broke and sad. I'm sad and broke.
wow, that's why we get along so well.
Wow.
But if nothing else, we will be back next week, 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 3:30 for you Alabamians. You got to tell them that so that they know, because they don't understand time zones. I'm going to take heat for that.
Time zone.
I'm gonna totally take heat for that. All right, anybody watching? That joke was aimed directly towards Glenn Hogue. Nobody else.
It's called a hoagie. That's what we call it.
Xander just said he's going to cancel me on Twitter. So thank you guys for tuning in, because you know it. You absolutely know it. These streams would be senseless without you guys tuning in. So we appreciate each and every one of you guys being here. We love each and every one of you, and we hope that you keep coming back.
Even Shane.
What's that?
Even Shane.
Even Shane. Yeah, who didn't seem to stay longer, at least didn't talk much. I can't wait till he gets his second dose of superpower so that he and I can go to lunch once in a while. It'd be nice. But I don't like the guy, but I'd still go to lunch with him. Make him pay for lunch. So, but yeah, that's all I got for you guys. So thanks for being here. Thanks to everybody that dropped donations. I'm sure at some point it will go to a good cause, like buying me a cheeseburger or something, which I will promptly take pictures of myself eating and send them to James because he gets none. And no
cut my tears to salt things, and that's good.
No cut on the Canadian side. So thank you guys for tuning in, and we will see you next week. I don't have an outro, so we're just going to go to black screen. And at this point, I'm going to say to you, until next time, as always, print on.